Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to install the up and down quick shifter on my 2025 Tenere. Hang in and we'll see how it goes. All right, let's have a look at what comes in the box here. I've not opened it yet. I've had this for a little while. Just haven't got around to installing it. Had some back surgery, but obviously I'm doing fine. Here is a wire tie. Nice wire tie. Can always use a wire tie. Some small parts. Not sure what they are. And here we have. This is the main unit. Oh, these things will fly all over the place. So here's the main shifter, and got ourselves a rod to adapt it to the shift mechanism. All right, let's get at it. Start putting it together. I guess I could open this up. That's it, we got in here. So a bunch of staples. Oh, looks like a little wire holder. A nut spacer. And a little heim joint. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. All right, let's get at this. Okay, to start off with, we're going to need a T30 and a T40 Torx. And the T40 goes to this little guy here, whatever you want to call it. Hold down point. Yeah, I think this needs to come off. You know, I'm winging it here because I'm really not, I think I sort of saw somebody do this a little while back, but I have no recollection of what they actually did to get everything loose. So I'm going to be looking around here and see what I can find. I think that has to come loose. So you've got to take off this one large bolt here, and there's another one over here that's your T30. I'll remove that. And we'll see where we go from there. All right. I don't know. Still feels pretty solid. I think I need to remove the seat. Yeah, I'm sure I do. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, let me see, that's probably about a 4. Yep. All right. I'll make sure to Locktite these things back on here so I don't lose them. Although they weren't Loctited. Yeah, it's a T30. Okay. That feels better. I'm going to go on a ride tomorrow, so this needs to get done today. I don't see too many issues with that. But you never know what'll happen. There we go. Alright, that comes loose from there. We've got one more down here. Looks like. Is that a different size yet? I'll tell you what, Yamaha. What is this? This screw is loose. Oh, it's like a, I think I know what it is. It's like a turn fastener where you just turn it, loosen it up, and it pops off. I think this one pops out of here. Aha. Right. Starting to get the idea here. Yeah, here we go. Okay. One side panel off. Now we got the front portion, which is held on with another Torx. Man, they do not want these things to go anywhere, I'll tell you what. Another T30, I guess. Just use the T27 on it, but it worked. Okay. I don't want to get these mixed up because they look like different fasteners. Where's the 30s? I'll tell you what, having a decent video of how to do this is going to be a big help for anybody trying to install one of these themselves. First time I went back to the dealer, I was talking, I went back from my 600-mile service. I was talking to the salesman, and he says, "Are you going to install the quick shifter?" I said, "Yeah, man, got one sitting at home, just waiting." So the tape was right here. It's just the wires are taped up. And I should be able to pull that out of the way. Wow. What does the connector look like on the unit itself? Yeah, this is going to have to come off. Yeah, see what they did was they just used a plug. All right. Okay, some of this is kind of ambiguous, and as much as I hate reading directions or instructions, I've had to take a minute and do that. What it wants me to do first is remove this existing shift linkage, because you'll need some of the hardware when you go to assemble. I was trying to assemble the unit itself, and I was missing some hardware, and I thought, but then I looked, and they want you to reuse some of these nuts. So you pull this little rubber boot back, and we'll have to find out what size wrench we need. This is a 4. I think that's the correct size. 4 will do. And it's a bit of resistance there. It's probably Loctited on. All right. We're coming here. There we go. Oh yeah, they had it. They had it all gooped up. That's good. And I'm going to take these pieces off. Put them aside. And then we can take the head off. I think we retain this bottom joint down here. Okay, so when you install yours, you're going to be very cautious and realize that this is a left-hand thread down here, and you do not want to strip the nut that comes off there because you'll have to buy a new one. Now I'm going to go on a ride tomorrow, so I put plenty of blue Loctite on there, and it should stay fine for me. It's not going to go anywhere. But as soon as I get the nut, I will take this apart. So what they want you to do is have 1 inch 420, or they actually are calling out 36 millimeters, from the center of the joint on the bottom here to, I don't know if you can see this very well, to the lip where the threads end on the shaft that they give you. So right now I'm at about 1 inch 400 or so. Yeah, right about right. 1 inch 420 or so. Back it out a little bit. And then on the top up here, if you can see that very well, they want you to have 13 millimeters, which is about a ½ inch. So what do we have here? That would be from the bottom of this unit here to the top of the shaft. So I have to go in a little bit. Now I'm turning this so that I maintain my distance on the bottom. And let me see what we have here. We have about 620 thousandths or so. Let's screw it in some more. Let's try this now. And we have just about 550 thousandths. I think one more turn will probably be enough. Yeah, we're about ½ an inch there. So I am going to tighten that down. I wouldn't ride this very long with this shaft just going into the joint, but it has a pretty good connection there. It's fairly deep in there. So I really don't think it's going to be a problem. No, it won't be. But as soon as I get the nut, I'm going to put it on. I'm not going to ride it like that for very long. If I didn't already have a ride arranged tomorrow, I would just forget about it. So we want to go across here with an 11. And where's my 10? Right here. And we're going to tighten this up. Okay, and no Loctite needed there because we don't. We have a jam nut, and we want it to be adjustable. So, and the same would normally go true on the bottom. You wouldn't normally put Loctite here, but since I'm not going to put the jam nut on, we need to be careful. Now, up top here. This one I think is supposed to be all the way in. Oh, there you go. I'm not reading the instructions. Or reading them but not understanding. How about that? So we need to take this back out. There's no way we can get that to turn. I'll have to put a little more Loctite on there when I put it back in. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to take back this nut off and run this down, I guess, all the way. I don't know, that's what it shows. And let's try it here. It's showing it all the way down. Let's see if it'll go that far. Yeah, it appears to. Okay, not quite all the way down because you can't get it to complete its turn. Okay. Put a little bit more Loctite on here. This is why I buy this big container. All right. And I'm going to go back to here. Rub Okay. I think this will work, and I hope that's adjusted well enough. Probably get on my ride and realize, hey, this is in totally the wrong place. And I think that's okay. All right. I just shifted. So that works. Now we can run this up over the joint and we can tighten down. All right. Now, this is the interesting part because you can't really hold the body of this while you're tightening up this lock nut. I guess that's going to have to do. Oh, let me see. All right. That's tight. And that looks like it's in the right spot. Okay. All right. Now let's see how they want us to run the wire, what it says to do. Get the tape measure out and check our 274 millimeter. Let's see. And that's between the shifter and $270. Well, looks like it's about 265 millimeters instead of 274. And let's loosen this up. All right. And then we can take and turn this out until we hit the 274 millimeters, which is quite a bit. Oh, that looks pretty good there. Almost. Let's see. Yep, that looks right. And that seems about even. I'm going to leave it there. I can always adjust it more later if I need to. Or as my uncle used to say all the time, more better. It's always more better. Of course, that was a joke, but it wasn't really more better. Okay. So something interesting is that is going to want to rotate in the bottom there. I don't really like running this without that nut down there. It'll be easy to put it back on, and there's nothing to stop this from rotating. Of course they rotate together. I could put another small drop of Loctite on there. That'll seep down in there a little bit. Okay. It wouldn't be anything if I wasn't Mickey Mouse, all right? So I'm assuming this goes back up through here and up there. Let's see if they show a picture of exactly how that's supposed to run. Okay, there's another part here that I don't... Get it in your view. I don't really know what the heck it does. They show putting it on this here, which I don't know if you can really see. It's in the top view, top of the view there. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. Right there. They're showing to put that right here. I think I want it to run underneath here. And for this connector to entrap the wire, you just run the wire through there from one side to the other, and it hangs onto it. I guess that's it. And when it operates, yeah, the wire just follows with it. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's the trickiest setup I ever saw, but I guess it'll work. Now we can come back through here and get our wiring back together. And it goes like this. Now we need to find some tape and tape this thing up. I guess we can just run it. Okay. There's plenty of wire. Just let it hang up there. Find a nice spot for it. Looks good. Still think this thing looks screwball, but let's see if I can. There, I've got one more notch tighter. Yeah. Okay. And as long as that thing looks like it's not tight. Nope. Nope. That's it. Well, that is installed. Now, I'm just going to get some black tape and tape this up. All right, we got it installed and taped up, and I'm going to go ahead and put the side panels back on off screen here, and when we're done, we'll initiate the quick shifter in the system. Be right back with you. Yamaha shows running the wire tie that they give you around something or other and lashing down the wire from the shifter before the connector. But honestly, this thing can't go anywhere but underneath here. So I ran mine. Let me put this. This was the wire tie that they gave you. Throw that down. The only place I could find to run it, there's no room to run it up top anywhere underneath here. So I ran it down below here, which fits real nice. Puts a little bit of a kink so that there's not a lot of strain on the connector. And there's really nowhere to wire tie it to. And there's nowhere for it to go. I'm just going to leave it like that. So just a tip. If you can't find anywhere for that wire tie to go, I wouldn't worry about it, because nothing's going to snag this. And you'd have to be in real bad shape to do that. And it fits real nice up underneath here. You just kind of run the wire so it's not a lot of strain on the connector or the wires heading in the connector. And you're in good shape. Okay? All right. All right, we're going to initialize the quick shifter now. I have the shift lever being pulled up by my foot. You got to hold it up there, turn it on, hold it for 10 seconds. And then we should get a little icon saying QS. Okay, about 10 seconds, then you let it go. Then you shut off the ignition. And it should be initialized. Okay, real quick, I'm going to go through what the next step to enable your quick shifter. If you don't do this, you won't have one. You can see right now I have quick shift enabled. There's a QS and up and down on the screen, which means I have both up and down enabled. So I'm going to hit the home key over on the switch gear, hit enter, go down to quick shift, go hit enter, and you hit jog down and it'll shut everything off. It'll shut everything off. Then if we go down back home, hit the home button a couple times, quick shift is no longer enabled. So next we're going to go re-enable it. Hit home button on the switch gear, hit enter, jog down to quick shift, hit enter, jog, enter, and then hit enter again, jog, hit enter again, and hit home a couple times, and your quick shift is enabled up and down. So there you go. I have used it a couple of times, and the quick shifter works great. Works very well. Shifting's a little more abrupt than if you did it with the clutch. Did I use it for every shift all the time? No, but it's nice. Nice to have, and it'd be really nice in an off-road situation where you didn't have to clutch. Anyway, there you go.